welcome to Pixel Shed podcast on games-link.com, soundcloud.com/pixelshed, bit.do/pixelshed. Yes, all the .coms. Oh. I'm here with Alex Sheldon.
Hello.
And Gregor Smith.
Hello.
Both of them filling in for my usual hosts, which one is currently dying in bed and the other is actually doing work experience.
Guess which? Right into GamesLink. Do you have a PO box? You should totally
get a PO box.
If you don't if you're not going to use a budget, like you have a small budget,
I have a small budget.
Use it to get a PO box, because nothing says electronic media like having a PO box.
I agree.
You can get free gifts and everything through it.
Yeah.
People can send us stuff
People could send you Kinder eggs.
Oh man, to smash. I had a dream that I sat on a Kinder Egg, and that was the entire dream. That it happened like...
Was it a health hazard there?
I know I woke up in a sudden shock, as in like something's gone up my arse, and I think it's a Kinder Egg, but it wasn't. It was just, I'm sat on my phone.
Games?
Games.
Let's get to it.
How are both of you, before we talk about the games, how are things?
What, like health? Like
how
status?
It's been a few weeks since...
How's your blood pressure?
Yeah,
it's pretty
How's
good.
the gout treating you?
It's been a few weeks since we've had you on, Alex.
Oh, it is. It's been ages.
I think the last time I couldn't actually call you Alex because we had another Alex on. So it got confusing. But how are the video games?
Yeah, they're good. I got recommended a game last time.
Oh.
It was Sleeping Dogs.
It was.
I've completed it.
What did you think of the best game that's not GTA?
See, this is the thing. I enjoyed the game, but there was a claim by Ollie that it was better than GTA 5.
I stand by Ollie in this case.
Okay. Having played both, I'm not so sure, but I'm sort of like a shameless whore for those sorts of chaos-based things. So I don't know. Sleeping Dogs was good. It was definitely good.
Which side did you end up choosing? The police or the triad?
What, at the end?
Yeah.
I don't know. I killed someone. I'm not sure. Was there two sides to it?
Like, I never touched the police missions.
Oh, I did all of it.
I never touched any of the police missions and reached the end with just pure triad. So,
No, I did some police stuff. I enjoyed the police stuff.
The police stuff,
Stop resisting whilst you beat people. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was more like you can't kill people in these missions.
You kill the odd.
You kill the odd
person.
Suspect. Police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
No, but how did you find like the combat and stuff like that? Because
I thought it was okay. Yeah, it was good. It was definitely compared to GTA where you sort of just flail around and bash into each other. It was better, but I feel like after a while you're just doing the same combos over and over again. You find out what works pretty quickly. But it was a good game.
Yeah,
driving could use a work, but that's not really the main.
No, the driving was fine for me because I am shite at driving, and because you're not in a car that long in those, like the most you're in a car is like, oh, drive point A to point B as usual for these types of games, like open world sort of things, like point A to point B, and then it's like I'm just gonna jump from one car to the next and see what happens.
There was an amazing moment when the karaoke all started up and I realised I might be a little bit in love with the game. Suddenly having him sing like "Aha, Take on Me" in his really high pitched American accent was quite amusing.
I did the karaoke so I got Sleeping Dogs on PC and it came with like a special pack because it was set on sale on Steam. It came with like a special pack, so I got like some body armor, like police body armor, but it covered his face the entire game.
Oh, see.
So I was like walking around like the fucking Terminator, like beating people up with like kung fu and shit, and then doing the karaoke in full gear. Like it was.
There are some crazy costumes on that game though. Like seriously,
it gets even weirder once you do like the Bruce Lee parody where you're in like the yellow jumpsuit, the yellow jumpsuit, and I think they add in like sound effects and stuff like that to the game and stuff. But are you going to like look into the DLC? Did you get it on?
I got it on PS4. It came with two of them.
Yeah, so they only released two. One was the Halloween special,
and then the one about terrorism. Basically, it was like a group, a cult. I don't know.
One of them's the kung fu one, I think.
I don't remember playing the kung fu bit, but I like once I finished the main.
It's like a separate thing. You go to like an island and it's just all fighting.
Yeah.
But is there anything else or has it been all Sleeping Dogs?
Oh no, I played
Wei
that.
Shen?
No, I've played a few different things. I've tried Dying Light again. Tried to get back into that.
How? I didn't like. So someone said to me like, "Oh, if you liked Mirror's Edge, it's Mirror's Edge with zombies."
And I was think that's a fair.
And I was like, I fucking hated Mirror's Edge, and also I'm not a fan of zombies, so I stayed away from it.
Have you played Dead Island? Either of you?
I played the first one for about an hour or so and went, no.
It's basically Dead Island with free running, and the story's a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
It's.
I've heard like people fucking love that game. Like really love that. Like
it's fun.
I've seen Let's Plays of Dying Light that look. They've made me want to get the game, if just to sort of try it out.
It's a really weird feeling because it's not a game like Red Dead or something where I'm like, this is a fucking good game. It's just there's something about it that makes you want to play it occasionally.
Game. Where it's a little shaky around the edges. Yeah. You're not trusting it fully.
Yeah, it feels like it should be bad, but you still like enjoy it to a degree.
Yeah, but how do you feel about like first-person free-running stuff?
As long as you don't sit too close to the TV, you don't feel too bad. Yeah, it can be a bit motiony. And the controls is literally, I'm going to get it wrong now, it's either R1 or R2, you just hold down and you point the stick basically. So like, you run forward, R2 makes you jump, and then if you hold it down whilst looking at a ledge that he can reach, he sort of grabs it and carries on. It's not particularly spectacular, and it can be a little bit
finicky,
rough around the edges, but it's a good system. I think it's better than walking around on the street like a numpty for like 4 hours.
Because the problem with like me in first person platforming is that I played my first like proper first person shooter was Half-Life.
Oh, yeah.
So they got jumping down for me. That's like the pinnacle. Level. That's like nothing has beaten Source games for like jumping and stuff like that. Like let's put Counter-Strike and stuff aside because they're all a bit modified. TF2, has the scout and stuff like that where you can double jump and whatever. But like Half-Life, like people don't like the platforming in Half-Life. I kind of do because it's like it's very simple. You jump and you land. You press control. You press control, space, and W, and you'll do a little crouch jump thing. It's not hard to grasp. People really struggle with it for some reason, but it's not hard to grasp. But anyway, but it's like then Mirror's Edge came out and people were like, oh,
I haven't played that, but I've
like it's just got this defines like first person platform, and it's an experiment by DICE. It's the Battlefield guys did it.
Yeah.
So it was it's an experiment, and it was really bad. It's a really fucking bad game, Mirror's Edge. It's really nice to look at all this, but it's like, alright, your free running works in the first level. It's like it's like Sonic Adventure with the whale, the killer whale, like where it's spectacular when you see it the first time round, and it's like, oh my god, this actually works, and then you actually get into the actual game, and it's like, no, this does not work at all because it controls poorly and stuff like that, and then it's like. Also, I have to, like, everything's in first person. I just want it to be in third.
I think Dying Light works okay with it. I never felt like the free running got in the way.
Yeah.
And have you heard about the day-night mechanic for it? This was, like, the major thing that the game was sold on.
Because, so the day-night cycle, it changes the intensity
of the zombies.
But also, I think if you kill things at night or do activities at night, you get more experience for doing
it's good. It feels like during the day they're crap. Basically, the zombies are just there in your way most of the time, and the minute that night comes over, and because the controller with the PS4, most of the sound comes through that for like big events. So you'll hear the alarm go off on the controller. The light flashes, you're like, oh fuck.
You need to get out of there.
Like on your mini map, it just shows you the nearest home point, so you can get to a settlement, and it could be fucking miles away. And then all these red arrows start popping up on the map, and these are like super zombie type things. And if they spot you, you're not fucked, but you're gonna have a long run back, and it's gonna be quite like stressful. So it's a good mechanic. It definitely mixes it up a little bit.
It's scary. Because this is the thing. Zombies have stopped being scary to me and just become, like, boring.
They're not. It's not scary, but it's tense.
Yeah.
Like there was a bit on a bridge with like loads of cars, abandoned stuff, and I had to get through it, and there were a few of them going between the cars, and you're just like slowly crouching from one car to the other, and the minute one sees you, that's it. It's tense. It's not scary. But
although I'm not entirely sure it's trying to bill itself as a scary game.
No, because like Dead Island
was not scary. It was more ridiculous.
It was a very ridiculous game, but when you first saw that original trailer with the dead girl falling through the window and stuff like that, it was like, ooh, this could be a very poignant thing. Because Dead Island was in development for fucking ages. It's like 2007 it was like announced and stuff like that. The first video came out and it's like, it might be cancelled. And then it appeared and it was like, oh, this is... Like, some people really liked it. Like, obviously, it generated a sequel sort of thing.
I feel like this is definitely what Dead Rising could have been.
Yes.
Dying Light is what it should have been almost. Like, if you change the location, they've improved everything from like the crafting, the free running adds a lot to it. So it's just a shame they had to go through that.
Yeah, because Techland. Because it's Deep Silver publishers Dying Light. I think.
Probably.
Techland. The way that like Dead Island's development has been described is like how Techland usually work, which is they have their A and their B team, effectively. So the A team did the original Dead Island and Dying Light.
Yeah.
The B team did Dead Island Riptide,
which I have heard not much about, but
Riptide is their sequel thing.
Okay.
Which was so bad. It was like all the worst bits of Dead Island
times 20.
Yeah, it's like survival. The hole up in this house. It's like, no, I want to craft weird shit. Just give me more weird shit to do. It's like a DLC that was like expanded out. And
it sounds like a DLC.
Yeah. Usually you can find it on sale for like £3 or something like that. It's one of those.
Am I right?
It's one of those. And then Dying Light. And then Dead Island 2 went to Yankee Studios, which developed Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh yeah, I've tried a bit of that.
The trailer was the guy running down the California, and then he turns into a zombie, whatever. And that seems to it's been said like that's going to lean more into the ridiculous sort of aspect. But then Yankee Studios also, I think they're off the game now. I think Deep Silver ditched them off the game because things weren't going right.
Okay, but didn't Dead Rising already do that crazy weird zombie thing?
The Capcom's Dead Rising? Yeah.
I don't think Dead Island 2 will be able to capture that level of ridiculousness. No,
but also like I have faith in the West to do their own version because like Dead Rising 2 captured it and that was developed by Canadians instead of the Japanese team.
Okay.
Dead Rising 3 was like properly like, do you remember when it's first announced? It was like, oh god, what have they done to Dead Rising? And then it's like, no, this is totally a Dead Rising game, like through and through. It just looks a bit different, that's all.
They didn't advertise it well.
No, they advertised it as a gritty, dark thing, and then it was like, no, this has like a guy riding around in an astronaut suit shooting at you, and then you're beating him up with like a spade that's electrocuted and stuff like that. Is there anything else you've been playing?
I booted back up City Skylines today just because I was incredibly bored.
Number 4 game of the year.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Fair play. Tell me why you like it first then.
It is the most perfect, simple city builder game in recent memory, and also like the modding community is actually useful. It's a very relaxing game to play. If you stick on infinite money, and you just create, and then you go back, and then you wipe it all out.
It's relaxing apart from when your populace are a bunch of whiny bastards. But
oh, the dead aren't being taken away fast enough. I'm sorry, there's traffic everywhere. What do you want me to do? I can either demolish all your houses and build a bigger road, or or you can all stop complaining for a bit while I build 6 more crematoriums next door to you.
Pandora's box.
Yeah. Oh my god! I downloaded the mod to turn off the Twitter feed because I was like, "Shut up!"
Just constantly complaining they don't have power and
it's like,
people are breaking into their houses and stuff like that.
It's like as soon as like I start up a game, the first thing I do is put myself into debt by building enough water and electricity before I build houses and shit like that. And it's like, all right, are you guys happy now? Where's the schools? We've got no schools. It's like, fuck it, I've not seen one kid on the street, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's literally a hat. Like, if you want a school, there's a freeway literally next to you. You can use that if you want. How do you build cities in that game? Are you a jumbled mess, or is there a
I'm a jumbled mess. I always get really stuck at the first hurdle, which is getting the 2 highways to like work and join together.
Shit, that took me like an hour.
I always end up just connecting them in across like.
Yeah.
I'm just like fuck it, and then it's the worst.
It's really fucking simple once you know what you're doing. The problem, like I say, it's like one of the simplest like city builders and stuff like that. It does have its complexity.
Except for the traffic, that's fucking
the traffic. The traffic's an issue, but I think that is literally just down to like I don't know how cities work.
No.
I'm building all my cities like anime cities, which are in blocks. So it's literally like you can set like territories and stuff like that, and rename them and whatever. And it's like you're A block, you are B block, you are C block, and you are D block. Oh, D block is on fire. Demolish. No one will know.
I always build like I'll have all this high-rise metropolis, and then I'll have dirt roads leading to a small little settlement where they don't have hospital supply or any police, and I just watch the ghetto implode on the corner of the map, and it's hilarious to me because I'm a psychopath.
It's a like
if you want hillbillies, you just set that up.
They're my favorite bit of that entire game. Like, it sounds so fucking nerdy, but it was figuring out how bus routes work. Like getting the perfect bus route. So then it's like I go down to like the street level view so I can like see all the people, and there is no one on the streets walking because everyone's on a bus. Everyone's taking public transport. No one's complaining about public transport anymore. No trains, nothing like that. There's an aeroplane coming in once every now and then.
Utopia.
But it's like this utopia of buses. There's just buses everywhere, and it's like, yes, I figured it out. Now I've got to figure out tube stations.
It's a good game though. I enjoy it a lot. Nice to just chill, but you lose hours to that, like so badly. I
think the first time I played it, I ended up going, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I better go to print. This was in second year, so it's like, I better go to print. Went to print, had no sleep, nothing like that. Left print, and went, I should go to bed. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, let's fuck up this sleeping pattern even more. No, it was like 8 o'clock in the evening by that point. I'd completed this city, like, alright, everyth's perfect. And then it was like 8 o'clock.
Except my life.
It fixed my sleeping pattern, in a way, but I lost 24 hours. I lost a lot of time.
That's how good it is.
Is there anything else before?
Oh god, I feel like you should take over.
Yeah, Gregor.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Gregor.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am fine. I've made this horribly awkward. Do you want to know some games, what I have been playing?
What have you been playing?
So, I mean, I guess I'll start off with Cities in Motion 2, which is
that ties
similar.
in.
Yeah, it ties in.
Segue.
Which is not something I've opened in a while, but it's...
Is it the same franchise
as... It's Paradox, isn't it? They made them both.
I think so.
Yeah, no, because there's one team developed Skylines, but it's not the same team that did Excel and the other one that was really bad. And so there's In Motion as well. I don't know. There's
they're all under the same.
These European companies and their simulations.
Yeah. So
that's the one where you set up like buses and trains.
Well, basically, it's pretty much solely for transport rather than.
City.
I'm trying not to repeat my rant about train games that I had that ended up never being released. But
that's a story.
That's not even the reason, but whatever. And I mean, it's kind of the problem is that it gives you a fairly like a fairly small area to work with, and there are some interesting like mechanics in it, but there's just too much going on. Like, it'll dump you in a fucking huge city and be like, they have no transport infrastructure. Somehow, this city is huge.
So it's almost like I built the city and they went, there you go, now you sort out the infrastructure.
Yeah, basically, that's how it works. And
so does it almost turn into like a miniature puzzle game in a way, like trying to figure it out? Sort of
is it a puzzle game under the roof of
like
city?
Strategy,
kind of, but then you've got to also manage a budget as well,
so
and look at like loads of different things.
I like how gamers will just take what is essentially a job that someone probably hates with a passion, and we just love it and we take it.
But I don't know. I don't love it because it is almost too complex. Like, you can set out fair zones, which is great because I get to take a big fucking colouring pen and colour in my city and it make it all beautiful. But there's just far too much. Like, I just keep running out of money, like, and the bank will refuse to renew, like, sort of roller coaster tycoon style. Yeah. The bank will refuse to renew my loan because I don't want to use buses. I want to have just a huge network of trams. Fuck you. Even though that's really expensive, apparently. So, yeah, that. I mean, it's a game I've played since I was last about on the podcast, but it's not one I've opened in a while, and I don't think it's one I'll be opening because, again, it's just
infuriating in a way.
Bit, but it's also incredibly time consuming. Like, simply to get a grasp of what I should even be doing, I would need to pause the game as soon as I start and look at it for half an hour and go, right.
Have you ever played any of the Paradox grand strategy games like Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis?
4X strategy
Holy
games.
shit, man. I play them and fucking hell, you need to watch like a 5-hour YouTube series just to get the basics of this
So
game.
I recently got into 4X strategy games through Endless Space, which is a rather simple one in comparison to like the other games on the market, like the Paradox ones, like Europa Universal stuff like that.
Europa Universalis, Crusader Kings.
Universalis.
Yeah.
God, it's fucking Europe.
I've put about how many, like 150 hours into Crusader Kings, so not much in the Crusader Kings level.
Because someone posted a review on the Steam page with a negative thumbs down, and he had like 3,000 hours in it, and it's like, yeah, I've lost my life. I need to ask the Pope for it back or something along.
It's good though because they broke Crusader Kings in an update the other day.
Oh, did they?
They did, so it's fine because everyone's been released from its spell.
How did they break it?
They added 2 new mechanics called Infamy and Shattered Retreat. So Shattered Retreat was basically, before, if you beat an army down, they'd bugger off to the next region, and you'd run there and you'd beat the shit out of them, and they'd run and you'd beat it, and eventually they'd be gone. Shattered Retreat is, you beat the shit out of them, they ran out of your like territory, and during the time they're retreating, you can't touch them. They're invincible to everyone. Oh. So like, even if I follow them, literally walking behind their army, poking them, they're not gonna fucking die.
Alone.
Yeah, literally. So that's fucking bullshit because you can't trap people now, and the AI has a way of like. So if you try and split like their armies off, take out one.
Strategy game AI. They know the game.
They're
better
fucking
than
broken. So say like they've got 5 armies, all 1,000 men. I've got 2,000 men, so I can't take them if they all come together. I'll beat 1,000 men. Oh look, they ran over to another 1,000. I'll beat that 1,000. They ran over. Now there's 3,000 men there. I should be able to have beaten them one at a time, but they all just go together and now I'm fucked. And then the other one is Infamy, which basically you'll like this. They made it so if you try and take too many places at the same time, everyone gets incredibly pissed off in the medieval world and forms a coalition against you. And we're talking like Vikings in Denmark joining up with the Muslims in North Africa, joining with the Pope because the Holy Roman Empire took one region of France too many. And it's fucking
we all love champagne.
Yeah, like, but
let's form an
and then
international
like
coalition.
fucking the Mongols turn up. Like, what the fuck? And I'm not even kidding you. Like, the Paradox forums were just like, this is fucking bullshit when they started. Like, yeah, so people have gone off that for a while, but it's so stupid. And this infamy is like a percentage. So you get like, after 25%, everyone forms a coalition. And it takes like 5 years in game, don't quote me on that, to like get that 25% gone. So if you take over a kingdom by like, say I'm married into a good family, I inherit that kingdom, they see it as I gain that kingdom, and then they give me 100% infamy, I get coalitions from every bloody person on the planet, including the Rajas in India, and I'm in like fucking England, and now everyone hates me and wants to kill me because I did something that was perfectly fine. And it's fucking bullshit. Oh. Sorry, carry on with your games.
It's fine.
I think, Gregor, you would actually really enjoy 4X strategy games.
You'd be like the most dictatorial person
because
ever.
They are so fucking ridiculous, and there's so many intricate. And each game like has like the base level of things you can do. Like each one's like the same across the board. But then each one has its own like unique spin on it and stuff like that. So like
in Crusader Kings, you can marry your sister, you can be a possessed pope, you can do all sorts of things.
And then you get into
kill children.
And then you get into like the sci-fi ones like Solar Empire and stuff like that. And it's like the faction that you choose will give you special skills. So like the one I play in Endless Space is the one that doesn't need fucking money. But then the downside to
what are they, like robots or something?
They're like robots that only want to like take over the galaxy for not personal gain, just to make it better. They don't need money or something. But like the downside is you are constantly generating money, so it's like, okay, I need to get rid of money, but I don't need to spend money on anything. Oh god, everyone's unhappy. I don't understand what's going on. And then it's game over because everyone revolted against you. There you go. You're in the middle of space and no one wants to be your friend. But anyway, so transportation.
Yeah, going back to the original. Your buses, how are they?
I don't like to, because the buses are shit and they get caught in traffic. Or I can build my own little tram network. My main concern with the game is I still don't understand how to build underground. I don't get it. The whole there's a thing where you can, but I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It'll be on the forums somewhere.
Probably, but I just don't have the time. I can't do it.
I do have to say, maybe I don't know whether it's a fuck you and fuck you, or if it's like a genuine like fuck you. But you got me heavily into Mini Metro over Christmas.
Yes. Oh, I've played that. That's a fun little time waster.
Fun is not the word I would use. Why is no one getting on the fucking trains quick enough? And why are the trains not going around quick enough in Auckland? It's like this imaginary tram station that's not been built yet or something like that. It's like, alright, you get to plan it out. And it's like, they're not getting on the trains fast enough. I'm throwing lines everywhere. I bought all the train lines and then...
I don't think I understand this game. I just colour in lines.
That's how I did it at the start, and then I was like, no, there's a deeper meta game to this, and it's like
you've got to be fucking strategic.
And then it's like I do the daily missions and all this, and all the daily challenges and all this, and it's like I did really well that time. I got 700 people round the tracks before
it all came crashing down,
and it's like you came 400 and something on the leaderboard because this guy from this country in particular. You click on his profile, it's like 300 hours in Mini Metro. He's got it down to a T. It's got this guy had like 100,000 people going around at once at some point. It's like that's not even fucking possible. I don't think. How the fuck have you done that? Mini Metro.
Yeah,
train games.
I've been fucking. I'm all about Mini Metro. I've been dipping in and out of it because unlike fucking Cities in Motion where you have to spend 20 hours just playing one game or whatever.
You can
with Mini Metro
5 minutes, see if you can
if you're lucky.
Score.
On some of them fucking.
The only thing my biggest complaint about Mini Metro is the sound design because it's almost like 3D audio sort of thing where it's like the noises go from one side to the other and it does my fucking nutting because sometimes it's like bing bong bing bong bing and it's like
I feel like that the sound isn't necessary for that game.
No, so I turn it all the way fucking down and
then stick your own music on.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
But it's just like it's like
no one's actually gonna just.
No, but it's like sometimes I like the noises when you connect things up and all this. And so I've just turned the music off.
Find that track somewhere in the internet and just play it.
So I don't like the music in that game. The little music that there is. I like the sound. I like every other sound in that game.
Yeah.
But that. I also really like how it looks and how it feels
it's
when
just,
you go
it's
through
also
menus.
very easy to use.
Yes.
Like you can pick it up and be like, I get this.
Yeah. I think I reached the end.
Yeah.
I was put like 8 hours into it, and it was like, why? How? Why? I only played this once a night for a week just to get that one achievement.
But then, there's also the thing where, obviously, it shows you, like, everything has a leaderboard.
Yes.
And it shows you, not only does it show you your position, which, like, for most games is meaningless, it also tells you, like, whether you're in the top X% or the bottom 50% or whatever. Which is horrible, because you can also see how your friends are doing.
Yeah.
And I look at your fucking scores and go, could do better than that, mate. All the time. Like, every time I'm winning Metro, what's Joel been up to?
Yeah, I haven't played it in a bit. Like, I know me and Harley linked our Steam accounts together. I know she put a fair fucking bit into it through the family sharing thing, and it's like, alright, you've got a higher score than me. And it almost became like a Hearthstone situation, which is something I don't think I've ever... I think I've discussed it on the podcast before at some point with Ollie and Jacob, but me and Harley almost fell out over Hearthstone, and so I've had to stop like looking at top 10 lists of games that we're playing like, at the same time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I was in game the other day, and they have like on the big screen, you know, on the PS4, they have Street Fighter 5 at the minute, and I was just like, and I beat her fair and square, but in the middle of the game I went, fuck you, Harley! Take that! I am the champion! Evo, here I come! And this mother behind, like, Harley was just like, shut up, you know, trying, like, actually being the adult here, and this mother behind me, like, took her kid to the other side of the store, like, is there anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, I'm just sort of catching up and like, I feel like there's never enough time in the world. And at the moment, like, me and Becca and my girlfriend, we're, like, constantly trying to... it feels like we're constantly trying to catch up on the past.
Okay.
So, like, yesterday, I platinumed Infamous Second Son, which came out fucking 2 years ago.
No, Infamous Second Son. Yeah, launch game for the
PS4.
Yeah, a few months. That was 2013, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that. But that's so I did that. We finished that yesterday. I've been grabbing trophies for Little Big Planet karting just because she had it on her PS3. Like, and then I don't know. It's almost. What was the other one? Oh, yeah. No, I also played Hatful Boyfriend yesterday as well because they released that for the PS4. I think it was some point last year.
Yes.
I've already played through it on PC, but I found out that for the PS4 release, they added an extra, or they put in a storyline that wasn't on the English PC.
Is that the one where you try and get sex with pigeons?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been featured on Sandwich Shop at some point. It was a very entertaining moment when Jacob put a Danny DeVito voice on the big fat bird, the doctor.
Yeah, Shua Mine.
Yeah. I can't remember any of them.
I fucking know all their fucking names.
Well, I mean, our character was called Speedy Egbert, so...
there's like 15 different storylines, and then the final one, which is like a murder mystery thing. And I literally... So I went, hey, I mean, I quite like the game, PS4, I'll do it again. Like, a whole day, just gone to
Pigeon dating.
Yeah.
Is it like actually a good game? Or what did the birds not take away from it?
It's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a piss take of visual novels.
Yeah.
But the problem with it is
that it's a good visual novel.
It's like a good, very, very, very good parody of visual novels. Like, there are some parodies of visual novels out there, and it's like, oh god. But then there's like some that are, very tongue in cheek, but not parodies because they're actually conveying an actual story through them. Like, the Danganronpa games on Vita, where those are like murder mystery sort of things, like anime out the wazoo. These are very anime, but it's a very piss take anime.
But my favourite part of it is, I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't played it.
No.
But, like, there is, after you've completed, so obviously it's a dating sim and you can get various endings. Yeah. After you've played so many endings, you can get, like, a special final one that is a murder mystery. And it's actually really well written. Like, it's almost like it could be a plot for a movie. It's that deep. It's that, like... Have you actually played
I haven't reached the end. My housemate told me to turn off Passive Boyfriend after it wasn't what she was expecting.
What was she expecting?
She was expecting... I told her it's a pigeon dating sim with beautiful anime boys. And she says, well, I've no idea about anime, but I like beautiful boys. And then she realised, like, no, this is...
all pigeons.
This is all about pigeons, birds, and stuff like that.
You did state pigeons, right?
Yeah, I said it was about fucking birds.
You can choose whether to display their human so basically, when you're introduced to the characters, they will like at the very start they will display their human form, which is drawn in a sort of anime. And then
there's one bird who doesn't have a human form. He's literally just a bird.
So like in the screen where there would usually be their human form, it's just a fucking ridiculous cartoon dove. And like,
and the fact that the thing is like he speaks actual bird, and it's like. And he's trying to speak human, but he's just a fucking bird at this school full of human. But
so it's like Pluto and the other dog. Yes. How like one's a dog and one's a talking dog, basically.
But no, like I would definitely in fact, I think that should be a thing that you stream at some point. The very final storyline.
I'll have to work through it because I didn't get very far. Because like there's 15 fucking storylines.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Some of the storyline, like
I can't believe you're selling this to me right now.
But I wouldn't advise.
So good.
On my heart of hearts, I couldn't advise playing through all the 15 normal storylines because, like, some of the characters have 2 storylines each that aren't even particularly different or whatever. But that final, like, you would need to dedicate time to it as well because it takes, like, I would say, an hour to play. That just this final storyline. Man, I can't spoil this. We've got to do it at some point.
We'll have to do it. We'll have to do it once this free time that comes up. We'll have to do it.
Yeah. The game that I'm going to play future, because my girlfriend like. She has fucking loads of games on her PlayStation account that she played like once and has got one trophy for.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Lifelong mission
is to trophy everything.
Well, yeah, there are some things that have been removed from the PSN store that are like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, removed from the PSN store. Heartbreaking. It will forever remain an F rank, or whatever the fuck it is, because he's only got one trophy in it. But next up for me, I think, is Ratchet and Clank All for One on the PS3. No idea. Just gonna fucking.
Have you played any of the Ratchet and Clanks?
Yes, although not for fucking years.
I played the first one and that's it. That was ages ago.
This was the. I want to say it was the one that tied in the Move controller. At some point.
God,
that's going to cause trouble because we haven't got fucking goal.
I think there was an alternate to. I think Sony came out afterwards and said, no, you can play it like a regular Ratchet and Clank game if you want, but it's like almost like Sonic Heroes, but with Ratchet and Clank. So there's like 4 characters. I think it's very co-op based. I'm trying to remember it, but it kind of came and went because they went, and here's the actual Ratchet and Clank game that you want on PS3. And that got good reviews, but hey, there's a Ratchet and Clank movie coming out this April. It looks actually really good. It's got the original.
It's a video game movie.
And they're not.
You could see Angry Birds the movie instead. Those are literally your 2 options.
That's fair.
Don't.
I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I've been following the trailers for Angry Birds the movie.
Of course you have.
And it's not looking bad. like the Ratchet and Clank movie, which is literally just the plot to the first game. So they're remaking the first game, but in the style of the movie. So the movie tie-in game is an actual remake of the first game because it's literally the same plot, I think, just with like, hey, this doesn't work because, you know, you can't exactly have a boss fight in the middle of the movie. But like, the Ratchet and Clank movie, it's got the original voice actors in it from the games. It's got high quality. It's a Sony animation. You know, it's from the team who did Open Season, I think.
So how on earth are you justifying Angry Birds the movie?
Angry Birds the movie looks genuinely funny,
but they don't.
But
I might have got this wrong, but Angry Birds, they don't have voices, do they?
No, but like,
so
but
how
like,
can they be?
okay, I'm gonna put. It is the same. It is the same.
Oh my God, it's just sooty, but for an hour and a half.
What are you on about? There's already been a sooty hour and a half special, probably.
Oh my God!
They did fucking thousands of VHS tapes,
did,
but like, there's TV shows and shit. Like, you could string all those together and make a movie out of them. No, but like the Angry Birds movie, like, you know, it's got a good cast, I guess. It's got standard American comedy.
Yeah, but
cast.
then lots of movies are like that, and they just fail.
Yeah, but like, I thought when my housemate put on Madagascar, the Penguins of Madagascar movie, I thought I was going to be in for like the most depressing, like, oh, here goes that end of my childhood into the bin, because here it is, and I laughed all the way through. So,
but then they made a TV series out of Penguins of Madagascar. Are they going to do it with Angry Birds?
Probably.
The Madagascar, the Penguins TV series came before the movie.
Okay.
But the thing is with the Angry Birds movie is that they're doing the same thing that they had to do with the Super Mario Brothers movie.
That bastion of amazing film.
But it's the same thing. Like, if you go to a film production company, like, the reason the Super Mario Brothers movie was so bad is, one, you should, like, there's two pieces on the internet that are fucking amazing to, like, that everyone was fucking drunk. No one knew what the fuck they were doing. It was a mess on set. It was atrocious. Like, all this, that, and the other. There's a reason Nintendo hasn't made a movie since. The problem is, you go to someone, hello, this video game we'd like to make a movie out of. Okay, what's it about? It's about a red plumber that jumps on mushrooms and beats a dinosaur up. Okay, how the fuck do we turn this into a movie? Don't know. Here's some money. Go and do it. Angry Birds is a bit easier to do. They hate pigs. Okay, so we'll just turn them into cartoon things.
Yeah.
Like, they made a Viva Pinata TV series. That literally has
good. Just
that literally had no plot to it. Like,
was it good?
The game had no plot to it, and
was
the TV series lasted, I think, a couple seasons on Nickelodeon.
Was it?
TV series and movies are hugely different, though.
Yeah, they're hugely different, but this was like fully animated CGI sort of deal. Either way, the Angry Birds movie, it could genuinely be good because it's so far removed from the source material that it's like now it's its own thing.
Will people pay money to go to the Lincoln's one and only cinema and go and see it? Probably not. I don't think.
No.
Probably not, because I think the Angry Birds craze is over.
Yeah,
but I still see
since like when they released Angry Birds Star Wars.
No,
I'm trying to think. When was the last time I walked into an Apple store? Because that's what I did.
Angry Birds 2 is still featured on their big TVs now, because it's still so is Jetpack Joyride, and that came out fucking ages ago. Angry Birds could genuinely be a good movie because Sony. But the way I see like kids movies at this point is like, look, it's for fucking kids. It's probably shite, but like, you have to like remember that it's not for us. Like, this is going to be featured on like this is going to get like.
If like the Angry Birds movie came out and it was rated a 15 and you were like, shit, son.
Shit. Could you imagine? You fucking pigs! I'm gonna get my mate Eagle.
It's just like two birds with no legs sitting on bar stools somehow at the pub. Just
like
chatting shit about pigs.
They put it features all the characters from the game. You know, like the Eagle is like the special like thing they need to get to save the day, and it turns out he's a fucking idiot and stuff like that. You know, it's a kids movie done by Sony of America. Like, what are you gonna do? They made a movie out of it finally. maybe we can finally put it to rest. Probably won't do because it probably have a game tied in with it. But oh well. So did Rio and Rio 2. Remember that?
No, because it was genuinely, I saw it first when it was premiered on TV on Channel 4, and I sat through a bit of it and went, "This is really shite." Like even by kids' movie standards, Rio appalling.
Rio was bad. Looked pretty though. I have been playing a game that's very similar to Sleeping Dogs in a way. Features karaoke. Features bad Asian men.
Have you been playing Takeshi's Castle?
No, I've been playing Yakuza 3. Me and Harley were going through the PS3 store, seeing what weird shit was there. We went down a very weird path in the Japanese side because I have like 3 accounts, like for America, Japan, and England. In the Japanese one, we went down the visual novel side and saw all the Z-rated games and the B-rated games and the A-rated games for the Cero, I think it's C-E-R-O, Cero, whatever it is, racing system. It's like, one of them was literally like, this is obviously playing to foot fetishes and stuff like that. So I went, oh, Yakuza 5 is featured on this store. Let's see how much it is on the English store. And then I saw it was on the English store, and I was like, this is really expensive, $32.99. But I really want to get it because then it's like I'm doing my bit of trying to get the other Yakuza games that have come out after Yakuza 5. Because Yakuza 3 and 4 came out, like, you know, as usual with video games, as they do. Like, okay, there's a gap, they need to be translated. Comes out a bit later than usual. So like when we were getting Yakuza 4, they'd already got Yakuza 5. That sort of deal. I don't think it helped Yakuza at all that it was exclusive to... It's exclusive to PlayStation for a reason, but it's like the first game is near impossible to go back to because it's on PS2 only. You can't buy it through the store, and there's the original Japanese voice acting has been stripped out of it for English, American, terrible PS2 era voice acting. It is atrocious. You can't go back to it. So they fixed it for 2. Never finished 1. Never finished 2. I got like halfway through 2 and couldn't really remember it because this was like last summer when I was playing 2. So it's like all Japanese voice acting and then subtitles, and you know it's like. So then I was like, oh, fuck 2, and then I remembered I played 4 all the way through, and the reason I got into Yakuza is because I was like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like 4 is the best one to get into until you reach a certain part in the story where they start introducing like older characters, and it's meant to be like, whoa, this guy's brother, whoa, and it's like, I don't get it. Like the camera zoomed in on a guy, and it's like, Majima, and it's like, I don't know who you are, but let's fight. This is an important moment apparently. And so 4 is like the easiest one to get into, but anyway, but I would recommend like starting with 3, because 3 features on the main menu. Hey, we probably know you haven't played 1 or 2 because, or you can't remember them because like 2 came out in like 2006 and this came out in like 2009.
Yeah.
There's been a fair big gap in between. So here are 2 half-hour catch-ups of the first 2 games with the original voice acting and the original aspect ratio for the PS2. So it is in like 480p on a 1080p screen. So it's like that big, like a super tiny screen in the middle. I realise like people listening to the audio won't realise what I'm doing. It's like that big on like the rest of the screen. I've got a pretty large screen, so it's like, and the subtitles are really big on the bottom just to fill space and stuff like that. It's like, alright, now I know exactly where Yakuza 2 went. Yakuza 1, building blows up, $10 billion falls all over the place. 10 billion yen falls all over the place. People start, and then Yakuza 2, there's a war going on between factions, and Kazuma Kiryu, who is like guy who left the Yakuza and came back. Well, he didn't come back to the Yakuza, but he's like trying to get out of it, but he keeps getting dragged back in. Because, as you do. And in the second one, he tries to fix everything up while cementing the next chairman of the clan that he came from. because they need a leader and they want this punk kid, so he's trying to train this punk kid. And then Yakuza 3 picks up, and it's like, Kazuma is now running an orphanage, he's now out of the Yakuza completely, but then he obviously gets dragged back in once the chairman that he's cemented got shot. He's back in the fold, like, things are going wrong. Someone wants to build a resort and a military base. The government wants to build a resort on his land, but the Yakuza don't want to give up the land because they respect Kazuma because he saved them more times than they can count and stuff like that. It's all very honor driven.
Yeah.
There's a very strong theme of family and bonding and friends, because it's like
and fighting
and shit tons of fighting. This is so like. Once you're outside of all the story stuff, like the cutscenes are beautiful still, like highly rendered cutscenes. Like it's like a good soap opera, almost. Like, or no, not even a soap opera. It's like a good BBC One show.
Yeah,
like
a drama.
Yeah, it's a genuine drama. Like there's story, there's intrigue, there's like characters have their own motives, and you know it's still got a lot. Like there's still the anime Japanese flair, because like. You're going to fight this boss of the Yakuza, and they're all going to take their shirts off. And they all pull off their shirts, like, and they throw them to the side. And Kazuma's got, like, a red shirt and a suit on, and he just whips it off, and it's instantly ready to go. But then, like, so once you get past all the story stuff and everything like that, which is actually my favourite bit of the game, even when it, like, goes from, like, okay, we can't afford to do all these in cutscenes, and also no one wants to just sit through cutscenes, so, like, there's a lot of, like, classic, like, text boxes and stuff like that. It's still the same fucking game it was back in Yakuza 1. Like, it's still exactly the same fucking game, they've just improved on it over time. Obviously, like, the difference between, like, I'm noticing between, like, Yakuza 3 and 4, because I never played 3 before I played 4, like, this is the first time I'm properly going through 3, is I'm missing changing between characters. So 4 introduced, like, because it's Yakuza 4, there's 4 different characters to play as. Whoa! So, like, but then it's, like, this is, like, obviously a very soul-focused story and stuff like that. So you're walking through town and stuff like that, and there are random encounters. Like the fighting, you can't just like punch like and stuff like that. You have to be within a desert. Like a guy will stop you. So the other day, a guy stopped me in the street. Like he stopped me while I was like playing, and he goes, "Hey, stop running through the streets. Where do you have to rush to?" And then I beat the shit out of him with a bike. I crushed his face in with a bike, and it was amazing. I fucking loved it.
I'm scared.
Yeah, it was. But like, it's incredibly like detailed and violent and stuff like that. But there's like not a lot of blood. Like the guys get up afterwards and apologize to you and give you money and stuff like that. Like Pokemon, like you killed all my little animals. Here's £500. Like this guy went like, here you go, and he handed me a shard of glass. It's like, this will come in handy at some point, I think. This guy's handed me a sandwich. I've
played, like, I think it was either Yakuza 4 or 5 before, or I tried to, and, like, the first 15 minutes of the game was just cutscene.
Oh, yeah, no, like...
And I just went... It's still cutscene now. I can't.
Yeah,
I cannot
but like,
do this.
I'm a guy who considers Metal Gear Solid 4 one of his favourite games of all time, and that game is all cutscene. Like, that is cutscene, the video game. Yakuza 3 and 4 have nothing on it. Like, it goes from cutscene to cutscene to cutscene. Like, especially when you're watching, like, Harley went to sleep. Yeah. Like, during the 2, like, catch-up sessions.
It was still on.
She did. She went... Right, I'm going to swap sides because you're obviously still watching this and the light's in my face. So, but like,
so you throw her over to the other side.
I did actually throw her to the other side because I was like, "You go on that side then." No, but like, I really like obviously like there's some point where it's like I go like I'm walking through the streets and it's like I've not been beaten up in a bit, and out of nowhere like, "Hey, give me your money, old." Like a lot of it is like, "Hey, give me your money, old man." But like, the best bit about the game is like the walk animation on Kazuma. He walks like Phil Mitchell from EastEnders, like constantly. Like, but it's like he has like running animation, like to proper stride. He just walks around like this, like he's shouting himself almost, and it's amazing. And it's so ridiculous. And the boss fights are... I beat a boss by whacking a couch over his head. And then got like... And then the guy went... The guy fell on the floor and he went... Nani! And then fell to the floor again. And then I got a 15-minute cutscene of like... I rescued this orphan and here's some misogyny. And it's not as bad as 4, which had a lot of like... fat shaming and trans misogyny and all this. Like, there's a lot of transphobia and stuff like that in 4. But like 3 is a very focused game. I just really fucking like the Yakuza games because that's where like Streets of Rage and like the beat 'em ups of old went. They didn't leave. They just turned into this game where you can go from beating someone up with a cone from the street to singing karaoke, going to the arcades, and looking after some orphans, like, and then you're back out again fishing, or my new favourite thing is the golf minigame. Because it's a full fucking feature-length golf game within this game.
Does that have cutscenes as well?
The tutorial does have cutscenes in it. There's like it stops. It like you finish the hole and then it's like, so tell me about yourself, Kazuma. And it's like, and then it leads into more cutscenes and then it's like, okay, all right, I don't mind story.
I just want to play golf.
I just want to play golf now. The fishing minigame I'm still trying to figure out because it's like Sega Bass Fishing, like within this other game. The Sega arcade machines from Japan are within the Yakuza games. Like Club Sega is there if you look hard enough and stuff like that. But the thing is like I'm playing it so I can then eventually play Yakuza 5 again. Play Yakuza 5 for the first time, because I really want all the Yakuza games to come out. Like the remaking one in total for the PS4. Yakuza 0's on the way, which is like set in the 80s. Yakuza 6 is also on the way. That got announced, which has a very famous Japanese actor in it. I can't remember his name, but it's got a very famous Japanese actor who's the villain of the game. It's like people lost their shit. Okay. There's also like a samurai spin-off. So it's like Yakuza, but it's like feudal times. The thing that killed Yakuza over here was Yakuza Dead Souls, because that was like Sega's like last push to like get Yakuza in the limelight. Like, all right, we'll put out this spin-off game. It's a Yakuza. It's the same kind of Yakuza game, but it's got zombies in it, and there's a big focus on shooting, which the Yakuza games have never done well at all. They're all about punching people, and it flopped over here because it's just bad. It's just a very bad game. Everyone likes to forget about Dead Souls. No one mentions it. It's never really listed anywhere or anything like that. But you know, but like the thing with Yakuza 3 is that the design of it is very much old-fashioned. You know, the camera, when you go into a building, it's literally like just dudes come to you, and then you beat them up. And there's a locker in the way, so you have to kick the locker until it bursts, and the camera is stuck on the wall. Yeah. And it's like, oh god, this still feels like a PS2 game, but why do I love it so much? And then, you know, Yakuza, I'll go through Yakuza 4 again, I'll fall in love with all those characters all over again. Yakuza 5, Kazuma's a taxi driver now, and stuff like that. And you get to play as the young girl that's been throughout all the games, but she doesn't fight anyone. She does karaoke all the time. It's all karaoke here. And I can't wait to get back into 4 for the creepy dress-up minigame, where you dress up hostess girls.
That sounds fun.
Yakuza! It's incredibly Japanese, and there's a reason they're really slow to bring them out over here. The problem with Yakuza 5, I think, is that it's not been released on PS4. They didn't bother to port it to PS4 at all, which probably might have hindered it a little bit. But it's on the top of some, it's always there on the top of lists. Like, Sony are obviously like trying to make good with fans. But I mean, Sega now own Atlus, which Atlus are really fucking good at bringing their games to America.
Yeah.
Through translations and stuff like that. So there's more hope for Yakuza now, and especially like I just hope that Sega just go fuck it, we'll put them out on PC as well, because that'd be fucking fantastic. Because then it just means because Sega have seen like shit tons of sales from like putting PC games out, like Valkyria Chronicles wasn't that popular on PS3. Like a lot of people, it was a cult game, and it's like now it nearly sold a fucking million copies on PC as soon as you released it, like on Steam, and it's like. Okay, got pirated to shit, but oh well. Shall we move into news? Do you...
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see what news there is. I was going to print this out. I was going to do it while we were spending like half an hour talking, but I forgot, as is usually the case. The Minecraft guy, what's he called? Notch. That's it. He's no longer the Minecraft guy. He's getting a Pioneer Award next month.
From who?
I think it's the DICE Awards.
He did.
The Games Developers Choice Awards.
You can't deny he pioneered.
Oh yeah, he pioneered. He pioneered the early access.
Yeah, well.
Early access and Minecraft clones abound.
Yeah.
I love the fact that on the Wii U, one of the most recent publishers for a Nintendo system is in fact Microsoft. One of the only third parties supporting the Wii U at the minute, because that got Minecraft on it recently.
Everything's got Minecraft on it.
Oh, now everything. No, literally now.
You can play it on your phone, your Xbox.
I think the only thing that doesn't have it is the Vita and the 3DS.
Probably.
I thought the Vitas... I thought that was coming soon, if not already out.
I think so. I think it was announced.
Also, Windows Phone, probably.
Yeah.
Windows Phone you can probably not play it on the basis that nothing works with Windows Phone. You're going to tell me you've got it. You've got a Windows Phone.
I had a Windows.
Especially for playing.
No. I had a Windows.
It's open right now.
I had a Windows Phone for a time, and because I was on Windows Phone 7, I was on Windows Phone 7 and went, fuck this, Android's better, mate. I think it was on Windows Phone because they brought it to. I think it's just the touch version thing that. I know there's shit tons of clones. Jesus Christ, you couldn't fucking escape it. I'm trying to look.
That is my Steam Discovery queue.
Oh no, it is on Vita. Minecraft is on Vita. No, but like
everything.
Have we all dabbled in the Minecraft at some point?
I wouldn't say dabbled is a big word. I've spent about an hour on it. Got killed by a witch. Got pissed off and left. Essentially.
Yeah, no, it's very easy to get pissed off at it because for me, it was I made a diamond pickaxe to mine some obsidian. Then I accidentally dropped it in some lava, and that's it. That's that ruined now forever.
It's Tedium, the video game.
It is incredible.
And I just went, I can't do this anymore.
I think,
and I'm not really like. I know. I feel like because. I explored the map, right, that's that done. Yeah. Okay, I've built myself a nice house. I finally figured out how to make glass, right, okay, cool, stuck some windows in. Done a lot of mining, defeated some monsters, found half the resources, got a bunch of PlayStation trophies. Okay.
People always say that it's like Lego the video game, but it's like Lego if you had to build the blocks yourself and then got repeatedly someone just took your blocks and walked off.
I don't get it. But my youngest sister, fucking loves it.
Kids are obsessed with it.
The shit she has made within the creative mode with like pixel art sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's
I just couldn't.
Holy
play it on
shit!
creative,
But like she doesn't like the survival mode because there's a challenge there.
Yeah, I get that, but then
you could do that.
I feel like
Minecraft
is a very odd medium for like creating stuff because surely, in my head, if you can create stuff on Minecraft, surely you can. Draw it.
Yes, which my sister then goes and does.
Okay.
So she'll either like sometimes she draws something and then converts it into...
It just feels like you're limiting yourself. It's like, I have this creative ability, so I'm going to do it in a medium which isn't going to support that very well.
No, like, I think she does it literally just out the fun of building, seeing what she can build. Like, but I think the best thing I've seen her build was, like, this huge fucking castle... And then inside there are all the Five Nights at Freddy's characters and stuff like that that she'd like recreated and stuff like that. Which is a weird thing she's into as well.
Do you
My
think
11, 12-year-old sister.
Yeah, but I think the root of all that is YouTube.
Oh,
little kids, YouTube is why they love Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's.
I caught my sister.
What else is the big one?
I caught my sister watching Five Nights at Freddy's fanfiction videos. I know, Matilda. I know what you've been doing because I accidentally left my YouTube account logged in at one point and saw the history. Five Nights at Freddy's videos for days. I couldn't fix my recommendations for weeks.
That is a game. Those Five Nights at Freddy games are essentially devoid of lore, but everyone bigs up the lore.
Oh no!
I know their stories. I've read into it, but like I just feel like people grasp at straws.
They're grasping at straws, but because it's like so interesting.
But
it's
then
like
you
it's
can
so
take
vague.
a game like Skyrim, which is literally vast lore.
But like, it's the reason why people really fucking like the Dark Souls lore because like you go and like you type in because it's obscure and it's hard to figure out and it gives them something to do. Like I'd rather than like dissect Five Nights at Freddy's lore than actually play Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, there was a book came out recently for it.
Of course,
Five Nights at Freddy's World came out recently,
and
it
was just a little game that a couple of friends ended up developing.
Oh no, it's one guy,
and then it turned into this massive because of YouTube.
Scott Cawthon, I can't remember his name. Scott developed it. He used to develop Bible games and stuff like that, like religious games. And I think it was Jim. I think it was like Jim's effectively. Like I think it was Jim Sterling said like, and a few other people said like, the art is so fucking creepy because it's all that same pre-rendered 3D art, soulless eyes and stuff like that. Like a lot of YouTubers said like, this game's shite, but also the art's creepy as fuck. So he took those negative comments and turned them into Five Nights at Freddy's. Made a shit ton of money. He's got a movie going. He's got a book out. Five Nights at Freddy's World was meant to like play towards like the Reddit crowd that taken on like, oh, all these characters are really cute. Really, they're all really nice. And the game failed miserably. The game failed miserably. Even though it had an 86% approval rating on Steam.
What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean?
Out of how many people?
Like a couple thousand, I think. So he took the game down and now it's available for free. The only problem is it's shite. It's properly shite.
Also, you probably pissed off a bunch of people who paid money for it on Steam.
I think he gave them all refunds. He's actually been really good about it. This is what happens when you're a good Christian man and you make video games about creepy monsters.
It doesn't feel like a good Christian game.
No, I think there's a large like. He rarely gives interviews, but I think there's like a large post somewhere on either Reddit or his blog or something, which like explains like he's had troubles in the past, like with his religion and whether he's.
Without going into the lore too much, there's a lot of like, isn't there implied child murder and stuff?
They're not implied like straight up
child murder. Some pretty dark shit, basically.
Yeah, like. This man got trapped in a suit and then died in the suit and then possessed the suit and then he killed some children because...
reasons.
And then he's the monster of the game.
Yeah, but there's also the other monsters which are... anyway.
Also speaking of monsters...
So Notch.
Yeah, speaking of monsters...
speaking of monsters... so
Not Notch! The segue's gone wrong.
Notch recently bought the whole internet and has decided to close it down every Friday and replace it with blocks.
Build it yourself, he says.
Just fucking shitty 1995 level websites.
Oh my god, stream your fucking video games now, son. No, speaking of monsters, Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus have reunited.
Oh yes.
There was a picture together that he put out a tweet. He basically said like giving an update on the company. So Kojima set up his own company again. It's Kojima Productions. He's got this neat little logo, selling shirts for it and all this.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, like, in the last month or so, been at Sony. He gave, like, I saw, like, a figure, like, he gave, like, a 267 page PowerPoint on, like, the next plans that he's going to do.
Is he
all this.
moving forward with the Silent Hills type stuff?
So he's going to be featured at GDC on stage. I think it's either GDC or Games Dice Awards or something with Guillermo del Toro,
Okay.
which was the original pairing. So people now, as one to do with Hideo Kojima and Twitter, like, you should have seen them when he put Goodbye Sausage on Twitter, and it was literally just a mistranslated tweet of him, like, there was just this sausage in a bowl, and he just said Goodbye Sausage, and I think he just was literally eating like a sausage as he was leaving Germany or something like that. And people then took that to fan the fire of the theories that Quiet was Chico,
God.
stuff like that, which was an amazing time to be on the internet when, like, Metal Gear Solid 5 fan theories were on fire. But now people are obviously like, it's gonna happen, oh my god. It's probably not. He's probably just saying hello to his mate that he did some work with for a bit. Like, if you spent 3 months also motion capturing someone,
but if they've worked together, they surely still have a vision that they both like to achieve.
Guillermo del Toro has always said, like, if the opportunity arises, he'll probably do it.
I wouldn't say it's completely.
Del Toro's track record with video games has been horrific. I mean, there was Insane with THQ, which was announced like in 2010, and then was supposedly still in development in 2013. Not anymore. Once THQ went under, that just had to get cut. He's not having much luck recently, Del Toro.
No.
He has lots of ideas and no one wants to facilitate him because
he has good ideas though.
Like Pacific Rim is on hold.
Yeah.
Crimson Peak did poorly at the cinemas and review-wise. He's just not. He's either lost it or, like, no one. He just can't do it anymore. I don't know. Anyway,
if you're listening, Mrs. Del Toro, write into GamesLink's future PO box.
Yes.
See what we can do.
pixelshedchannel@gmail.com.
Sure.
Email me there. We'll work together. We've got a green screen.
I really like if you genuinely got an address or a PO box or something like an Art Attack style. This is what you've sent in this week.
I was literally like one of those, like, we've taken pictures of them and just quickly put them into Premiere, like, Del Toro, age 45, from Spain.
Probably.
Dark Souls is coming to Xbox One through backwards compatibility. It's also getting a season pass. Dark Souls 3, that is. It's getting a season pass. People were also freaking out, like, there's a discount if you pre-order it on Steam for Dark Souls 3. It comes with a little discount. And people, like, apparently it stacks. Whoa! Like, you can just keep doing it over and over again. Like, just codes over and over again. And it turns out it's like 8% off or something like that. So it's so minuscule that it's like it's like now 99 cents cheaper or something like that. I'm looking through GameSpot.com and Street Fighter 5 servers are, like, on fire.
Okay.
Like, no one can get into the game.
That is a good launch.
And, like,
it's always good when a multiplayer game fails their servers on launch.
Yeah, like, especially, like, Street Fighter 5 apparently, like, lacking a lot of features. Like, the story, like, the story mode that's there at the minute isn't like the old arcade story modes where it's like, there's 10 matches and then
you get through them.
And then you get your little shit cutscene at the end. This is, like, prologues to the actual story mode they're going to be implementing later on. Like, they're doing, like, a fully...
We have released a game with no story.
They sold you a game.
Please buy it.
They said
this is the prologue, and we'll give you the rest later. Just
no, that's what they said.
Pay us the money, and we promise we'll give you the rest later.
They straight up said, like, before release, like, we can't finish the story in time.
So don't release it.
Is it technically early access? Or?
It feels like...
Or is it officially, like, this is definitely a game?
No,
I mean, the actual game is DLC, but this is a game.
It's all free. It's all free. Everything coming next is, like, it's all free.
The story will be free DLC.
The story's free DLC.
That's still bonkers.
But that's at that point, it's an early access.
Yeah,
game, right?
they've released you a game that isn't complete, even if it's free.
Yeah, it's not complete at all. Like a lot of people but fundamentally, the reason it's out now is like, hey, people want the next Street Fighter game.
But they're not getting it.
But they are, because it's like this is currently catering towards a very neat
people will probably still buy it.
Yeah,
like,
of course they will. What was that Gran Turismo 5 prologue or something? People bought that.
But this has the online multiplayer.
Yeah.
It has the stuff
I
you
guess
want
it has
in
the
it.
Stuff like
you don't.
How many people are actually going to bother with Street Fighter story mode?
Yeah, the only reason people are a bit miffed about there being no actual arcade mode or story mode is that okay, there's a few new characters here. Or I'm new to the game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Street Fighter 5. I've not played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 4's original release. I'm no fucking good at Street Fighter.
Yeah.
They've changed all the systems. All the moves are now changed. All this. They made it simpler. All this. It's way easier to play, and I want to learn the game properly. I want to sit down and actually learn the game. And the problem is
that's
no
story mode.
That's usually where you would go to arcade. Okay, I'll do Ryu's arcade and I'll learn how to throw Hadouken properly.
Yeah, okay.
And stuff like that. But now, the story mode here, it's prologue to the actual cinematic story mode that they're putting in. So it's literally cutscene. It's cutscene fight. So one of them is cutscene fight, cutscene end. Here you go. Here's a taste of this character. At maximum, I think most of them had 2 fights in them. I was reading a review. They said they got through all the prologue stuff within an hour.
Okay, so that and the fact that the online multiplayer is apparently not working.
At that point,
you've got a disc or a download.
So I've spent the hour or whatever doing the prologues. What do I do now? The servers don't work.
Versus CPU.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well,
how much is it? It's full price.
Full price. Yeah.
But how much is full price? Do we know?
It's straight up $45.99.
$45.
Fucking hell.
And I am there
That's
on the edge.
Point, though.
I'm there on the edge. Do I put myself more into debt buying it now so I can play it, or do I wait a couple of weeks for it to settle down? I just want to play Street Fighter. I don't particularly care. Okay, the story mode would really be nice to see.
It'd be
nice
fun if the servers are fucking down.
But I think the online servers are down, but you can still play the game.
Yeah.
But the thing is they did loads of beta tests for this, tons of them. The first beta test they did was fucking on fire. No one could get in. They'd shut it down, and it's all for pre-orders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'd shut it down and go we're gonna do 6 more before the game comes out. And they've even set up a Twitter account for the server. Street Fighter V's official Twitter account to follow at the minute.
Does it just go up, down, down?
It's
up,
constant
down.
screaming.
Yeah.
There's too many of you! What do you mean you want to play this brand new entry in this legendary franchise? And then so I saw over the weekend, Doom's got a release date last week. The new Doom game.
Yeah.
Doom. The Doom.
Is it the Doom?
No, it's just called Doom.
It's just Doom.
But it's I'm trying to differentiate.
thought
There's
you
already
were
a game called Doom. It's one of the best games of all time. You can't just call your new game Doom.
Yes, you can. Tomb Raider did it.
Yeah, but the Tomb Raider's always been shite and never picks it back up. So, cat fight. But Doom got its box art, its release date. It's coming out in May. It's considering upgrading my PC for it because I'm playing that on a PS4. I want to rip some aliens' arms off. Doom is real good. They're really, really good. They still hold up. There's a reason they're classified the best of the best.
Yeah.
The
We're not going to have another Duke Nukem situation on our hands then.
No. This will actually be a decent game, probably.
Hopefully.
If it's bad, then it's bad. But, what are you going to do? I liked Rage. I believe in id.
Not many people like Rage.
No, I like Rage.
Okay.
The thing is they put out how long the campaign is going to be. 13 hours, roughly. I saw on Twitter, that's not good enough. It's too short for a Doom game. Fuck you! They're Doom's original Doom, like each level, it expected you to like finish with under the par time to get like a good score. It was like 2 minutes per level. There's like 4 things, like
13 hours is huge.
It's huge for a first-person shooter nowadays. And you're literally just going to be shooting the same shit over.
How do these people have the time? I don't get it.
Because anything under like 15 hours for like a thing with Doom on it is like, this is not good enough. I put 40 hours into the original Doom. That's because you were shite at it and died all the time.
I remember.
If you don't die, then you're probably going to live. You're probably going to...
If you don't die, you're probably going to live.
Yeah.
No, we'll go with that. That's great.
If you don't die throughout this new Doom game, it's probably going to take you 13 hours all the way through. You're probably going to die a few times because it looks fucking hard as fuck. Like, those E3 demos that they showed with like millions of fucking enemies shooting at you all the time, and like you've got to constantly be ripping people's arms off to regain health and stomping them and stuff like that. It's like you're gonna lose, and also then there's the multiplayer. Like you've got a new id multiplayer shooter. Be fucking thankful. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. People piss me off.
We can tell.
Nintendo needs to stop putting out Twilight Princess promotional material. They really do.
They need to stop or they need to start?
No, stop.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's every fucking day there's like a new trailer. Like, look at the difference between the original version and the HD remake. It's like, no, we get it. We get it. And it's like, there's shit tons of them. Speaking of Street Fighter, rapper Lupe... I watched this last night.
Okay.
Rapper Lupe Fiasco...
Sure.
Lupe
Fiasco.
I don't know. He's got a few 100,000 Twitter followers, stuff like that. I don't know. He's got an album out last year. He's pretty popular, I guess. Sure. He recently challenged Daigo. Which is a very high-end player within Street Fighter community. You know, he's like God almost. He's the guy who parried all the Chun-Li kicks with Ken. In one of the most famous esports videos of all time. And he challenged him, and he had 3 weeks training with different Street Fighter games, and they put them in Street Fighter 5, and I think they hadn't touched Street Fighter 5 properly, because like Daigo was still learning the game, like, oh, I can't parry this time round, I need to learn to do this, all that, and the other. Lupe Fiasco won.
What?
He straight out won. Like, Daigo looked like he'd thrown a match to like give him the other guy confidence, and then didn't pull it back. Not deliberately thrown it, just like, all right, I'm gonna go easy on this guy. And then he brought it back. Like Daigo, like for 2 rounds, like for 2 games, was like fucking wailing on him. And then Fiasco like got the last hit in and went, "Did I just win?" And someone went, "Yeah, it's best out of 5. You just won 3 of the 5."
Oh god,
and
really
it was
shit.
like, and it was like, oh my god, like. So
he gets sponsors and stuff, I presume.
Daigo's sponsor is Mad Catz.
He's making dollar.
Yeah, Mad Catz sponsor him. Like Mad Catz set this up. It had the Mad Catz logo all over it. All the tournament sticks, all the fight sticks they were using were all Mad Catz.
That card looked good for him.
No, it didn't. But at the same time, like very respectfully bowed to each other and stuff like that. Like very respectful about it. But it was an intense like. It was like this hyped up thing, and it only lasted like half an hour.
Wow.
But it's like I was on the edge of my fucking bed. Like I was like, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I went, you know what? I can't fucking sleep. I'll watch this. And I'm there like this. Like I stood up at one point and went, shit, he's gonna fucking win. And then I went, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting excited over 2 nerds fucking fighting each other in a video game. And that like. Sold me on Street Fighter 5 down then. Like, alright, if this guy can train for 3 weeks and do this, I can do it.
I believe.
I've got 3 fucking weeks spare, like whatever. I've got Fight Stick. I can do this. It was just an amazing like moment. Like, alright, this game is very accessible for everyone now. Like Daigo lost fair and square. It was amazing. It was amazing. Just like the closeness of it. It was just like, and then he celebrated in only a way like.
This must be what most people feel for sports.
Yeah, I was like, now I get sports. I get it now.
On the rappers and games front, this is just something that
is a front that is always
always at the front of my mind.
Go.
I saw I heard on Twitter it was a short video of like some of Kanye West's new lyrics and stuff from the life of Pablo.
Yes.
Put to the music from Fez. It works. It's really good.
Yes. There's also Street Fighter samples in one of the songs, straight up.
Huh.
And Kanye West is actually releasing a game.
Yes, he is. It's about his mother.
It's about his mother.
Oh.
Is it going to be as good as the Kim Kardashian game?
It's a lot more biblical. Now, bear with.
And more biblical than Kim Kardashian.
So, obviously, Kanye West's mother died.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Familiar with the lore of Kanye West.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
His mum's dead.
His mum's dead, and he really respected his mum.
He also respects money. Hold that in the back of your mind.
Even though it's $53 million in debt. So the game is he said this a couple years ago that he was going to make a game based on his mum, and no one fucking believed him. And here it is.
Have you seen the launch video of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the mother riding on a Pegasus horse thing through clouds into heaven.
Yeah.
It's like the pearly gates. And the thing is, people have gone, alright, this looks visually really cool.
It's quite relaxing, I'll give him that.
It looks fucking amazing. Like it's like almost.
Let's not give it a fucking amazing. It looks like a flash
when you look
game,
at it, when you look at it close enough, and it's like pixel art and stuff like that, and it's like super detailed clouds and
it's
stuff
sort of like
I'll show you pictures afterwards.
Okay, yeah, no, but I imagine it's sort of like a retro platformer kind of. But almost not.
So the thing is, people have been speculating.
Though, that he had nothing to do with this. He just gave an idea.
Yeah, he gave the idea, and then someone.
He said, "I want my mum going through heaven," and then that was his end of his development story.
I think he's supplying the music for it, as he obviously would be.
Well, that's his whole stick, so I would hope so.
I'm trying to find a picture of it, but I've typed in Kanye West game, and it's come up with basketball games. I'm trying to find pictures of it, but it's really fucking hard to find pictures of it, apparently.
In the video when they released it though, he played it once and the crowd apparently didn't react in the way he wanted.
Yes.
So he played he was like, we're gonna play that again, and they played
he forced people to clap and stuff like that.
Yeah. He was like, let's get a proper reaction out of the crowd.
I'm trying to find an actual fucking picture of it instead of a video. Fuck it, I'll just turn the volume down. And I'll let you watch that.
Great visual content.
Great visual content. Audio content as well.
Amazing. That's an advert about someone predicting financial collapse. Okay.
So it looks really entertaining,
I feel like a movie is about to begin.
Yeah. So people have been speculating on Twitter and stuff like that what the fuck it could be. Like, what type of game will it be? And someone said, it's going to be an endless runner. It looks like a fucking endless runner. It's going to be an endless runner. But
we're just buffering here.
Oh, we're buffering.
Is it? What do you think? It'll be released on phones?
It'll be released iOS.
Yeah, it won't be
iOS exclusive. You'll have to download Tidal to get it.
Yeah, probably. And people will.
That's Kanye West's video game. That's a legit thing. That's happening. Also,
once you got his money, and he does have money, that's
apparently he's 50.
Let's ignore that. He has money. Once you have his money,
I don't think he's in the same debt that we are.
Yeah, it's not like student loans. It's like
it's like he's 53 million out of the bank, but what does that actually mean?
And then you look at his assets, and you're like, I think you have money.
Following his Twitter over the last few days has been a joy.
Oh yes, the whole Zuckerberg thing kicked off, didn't it?
Did you see this?
Vaguely.
He requested, even though it was Mark Zuckerberg's birthday, which is in May, to call him about funding him $1 billion. It's a very complicated. It's a very complicated thing because he said I am the Walt Disney of this generation. And
Walt Disney went bankrupt as well, but he made it back.
and also I can do this. I've got all these ideas. He gave a flowchart of like all the ideas he's got and how he wants to do them and stuff like that. His reasoning why they should fund him is because why build schools in the country of Africa when you can fund this
Kanye.
rich
He
billionaire.
basically said that funding a school in Africa does nothing, so you might as well fund him because clearly he will be so much more.
He will bring
just help
joy to the people of the African continent.
Meanwhile, while we're looking at
the African countries.
Yeah,
no, sorry.
Please. Well, meanwhile, on the other side of like all this, like you've got the last couple of years of stories which have really gone under the radar of like Akon supplying electricity to places that have never had it before and stuff like that. I'm spending like millions of dollars on like actually, and it's like, all right, Kanye, I understand you're an entertainment guy. You are never going to be a philanthropist.
Yeah,
you're never going to be. You're never going to be one of those people. Maybe simmer down a bit, lad.
Yeah, like.
Also, he's not releasing his album outside of Tidal. So Tidal is currently the top downloaded app on the App Store. But I think that's just a lot of people not knowing what Tidal is.
Yeah,
he has a lot of reach.
I get really annoyed when a big idiot does idiotic things and then smaller idiots back it up. And
but the thing is, a lot of them. So what I saw was like a lot of people. Well, I specifically searched for this, but some people are downloading Tidal, not knowing that Tidal is a subscription-based service like Spotify, and then deleting it almost immediately because what? I thought I could just pay for the album through Tidal. Why do I have to subscribe? Like, why do I have to put my credit card information into here? Why is this not appearing in my iTunes store? And stuff like that. And it's like, hey man, Dr. Dre sold out for a reason.
Yeah.
But here's 3 white dudes talking about rap.
Can you imagine if like Zuckerberg did start funding Kanye and just were like, right, you have to release all your music on Facebook Music now. Zuckerberg just comes out. I'm launching my musical project with Kanye.
Oh man, the whitest dude on the planet. But then you've got there's Martin Shkreli who supposedly got scammed out of $15 million through Bitcoin because his friend, because Kanye West's boy Daquan said, which is like, and then he was like live streaming, and then people were like joining his live stream to also say like, I'm Daquan. And then a white dude in glasses, I'm Daquan's lawyer. And it's just obviously like people from 4chan are just taking the piss now. And it wasn't even real in the first place.
Yeah.
It's obviously not real. You don't just lose $15 million.
Yeah.
Maybe you do. I don't know how rich people work.
And if you want to send us money, Games Links, PO Box.
Yep, please do. We've got none. Rent's coming up.
Just send some money to Joel Loyne, CO, the University of Lincoln. It might get to you at some point.
Also, Fallout 4 is season pass. They announced the DLC.
Did they?
Sort of.
Is this a survival thing or is this something else?
They're adding in.
It's like hardcore.
No, I can't remember. I didn't read it up on it. I should have read up on it actually. They're adding in customizable robots that will follow you around.
That shit.
New areas, obviously.
Yeah.
Wasteland Workshop, Far Harbor, Automatron. There's some screenshots along with it and etc. Nothing huge yet. But the thing is that they're doing is they're increasing the price of the season pass on the 1st of March.
I'm pretty sure that's
from $24.99 to $39.99.
What the
Jesus Christ!
You can't release a fucking season pass and be like, this covers all the content, and they go, nah, it doesn't. We're going to.
It's to match the scope of the DLC.
But they knew the scope when they released a season
No, they
pass.
didn't, because they put out a season pass.
Like, I don't know. The idea that I have of games companies is that they release a game and go, right, now we need to make more of this game. How do we do it?
No, so the thing is, they put the season pass out alongside Fallout 4.
Yeah.
without ever having any plans drawn up for what the DLC is going to be. Like, literally, it is like paying, at least like with The Witcher...
Writing a blank check,
It's like, yeah, you were paying money for a gamble at this point, and it's disgusting how Bethesda did it.
So if you brought the season pass and they'd just gone, we're not actually going to release any DLC.
What if Bethesda suddenly went under one day? You know, in a freak accident.
That's the fucking... I don't know. It's
like a lot of people.
People have now started moving beyond ripping people off on Kickstarter and got rid of the fucking middleman of Kickstarter. Hey, we can just rip you off.
So like
through our traditional means.
Yeah. So like people. So like if you want to get the Fallout 4 DLC cheap. I guess.
Yeah, but what is it? Like, what is it?
It's new areas, it's probably going to be the same stuff that you got in Fallout 3 and Skyrim.
No, because in Fallout 3 and Skyrim, they release this will be this, it's like a whole different story. It's
probably going to be that.
This seems like horse armour all over again, like little bullshit that we don't
They're going to
about.
add, I think what they're doing is they're adding in all the bullshit stuff along with each of the packs. So it's like... I think in a business sense, if I put my business hat on for 2 seconds, it probably makes sense for them because it's probably very expensive to develop this all in one go. Also, let's take the hat off for a minute and go back to regular person. You can't do that.
No.
You set the price. Or like, the thing is like, they don't like the problem with Bethesda, I've said this on, like, I think I said this when, like, The Witcher 3 came out or something. When it was originally announced that Fallout 4 was getting a Season Pass.
Yeah.
That Season Passes are now part of video games. There's no way we're never going back. No chance. The problem is, Bethesda didn't announce anything to go alongside it, and all they've given us is, like, little bits. You're interested now, and people are freaking out over it, like, customizable robot companions, wow! And people are there like this, can I fuck Nick Valentine yet?
No, fucking no.
But then the thing is like, you've got on the other side with, like, the other big RPG that came out last year, The Witcher 3, straight up said, here's the season pass, and here's the 2 DLCs that are coming with it.
That's the only season pass I've ever bought for a game.
I've not bought the DLC, I bought the DLC separately because I was an idiot.
Oh, good job.
Well, the one of them was cheaper. Like it works out the same price if I buy them separately because it's like PSN price cut or whatever. It's like £7 or something like that. I was like, whatever. But like, CD Projekt Red had the right idea. Here's the fucking DLC. Like, Call of Duty has a better, like, okay, you're paying another £40 on top for the for the season pass.
But at least they tell you what the fuck it's gonna be.
Like, they don't, they don't tell you exactly what it's gonna be, but they say, like, alright, you know exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get 4 new maps and 1 zombie map each rotation. Boom, done. Season passes can work. Sometimes
as long as people know what they're buying.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the idea is kind of Kickstarter. You're like, well, we might do this, and
I think Kickstarter give you a better idea of what you're getting.
But it worries me because I got drunk last week, and some people eBay stuff. I Kickstarter stuff.
What did you Kickstarter?
It's like nothing embarrassing, and like. It's just sort of like weird little community projects, and I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds interesting. I'll give you some money, but I don't like. It's the suspense is worse because like eBay, like the money goes out like that. Like whereas if I'm drunk Kickstarter, like I've still got £60 might fall out of my account in 2 weeks when that project finishes. You know, depending on whether it gets funded or not. I'm constantly living on the edge.
My problem with Kickstarter is that I've kickstarted things and then forgotten that I've kickstarted them.
And like,
and then the projects last like 6 weeks.
And then so like I think I backed the Outlands documentary thing, which is about arcades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that took like a year to film, and because they had to travel to different places.
Yeah.
And I got an update in email like a year later. We've completed it, and I went, I forgot that I gave you money. That's where the £40 disappeared to that one time.
Yeah.
But
like I got an email at the end of last academic year. I got an email from the people, like my landlords from the previous year, being like, oh, we've got some packages for you. And I was like, okay, interesting. What the hell are they? Kickstarter things that I'd totally forgotten about. I hadn't updated my address on Kickstarter.
I think the worst that's ever happened was that I funded a Kickstarter and like literally an hour before they reached their goal. They got over their goal, and I pulled the 40 quid out that I put in because they didn't explain on the front. Yeah, no, this is going to cost way more to ship over from like the US, and it's like
they've started including that now. So
this was like the early days of Kickstarter and stuff like that. It was a card game where it was like you got this huge fancy book when you had to say all the words and stuff like that, and all this, and it was like, holy shit, this looked amazing. And I put 40 quid in, and I was like, I can afford this. And it was like, this is going to cost 160 quid to get over to you.
Fuck that.
Because we've increased the £40 pledge to like give you a stone statue and stuff like that. And I went, I don't want it! I just want the fucking cards!
Yeah. That's just so they can get more.
But yeah, Bethesda, also the fact that I am not, after finishing Fallout 4, which was sorely disappointing.
Man, I'm so torn on it.
I felt like
I have not heard enough good things about it to make me think it's worth it.
Everything in the middle of Fallout 4, the exploring, the shooting,
It's fun.
It's fun. It's Fallout. I really enjoyed it. There's a reason I put 2.5 days into it. Like by the time I finished, I've got nothing better. I'm not spoiling the ending, but like by the time I got to the end, the game didn't know what to do with my choices, so I got the neutral ending. I shot the particular I ditched the faction. I ditched a faction by turning on them, which failed a shit ton of quests that I was about to do. It just failed a shit ton of shit, and then I was like, well, I don't care about this character. I just blow his brains out, and then the game ended. And it was like, all right. And then like the nice thing is it goes, not the nice thing is it's like, and then as soon as I finished, it was like, all right, now I want to take out the Brotherhood of Steel. I want to take them out for good. I want to let them to leave. And like Preston, and then Preston goes like, all right. The first thing he said to me after finishing the game is, I'll mark that on your map. There's a settlement that needs help.
Fucking Preston, man.
So he marks that on the map, and then he goes, oh, we want to take out the Brotherhood. And I went, alright, let's go do that. That looks like fucking fun. And then he disappeared from the game. Don't know where he is. So I went, alright, I'm done with this. See ya. I've just wasted 2.5 days of my life.
The game went, oh shit, we're actually giving him something good to do. Fuck off, Preston.
It's like dog meat was gone, everyone was gone. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway, that was a podcast. Gregor really needs to piss, I can tell. Thank you, Alex, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And Gregor Smith.
I've been here, I've sat here.
You've sat here, you've spoken.
I've spoken about pigeons.
We liked the bus bit, that was fun.
Oh, okay, good.
It's always a pleasure to have you around, Gregor. Always.
That's okay. Ollie and Jacob should be back next week, as I understand it.
Probably not. I don't know.
Shit.
Fucking hell.
I don't know when. I don't know when Jacob's coming back.
So he's on work experience.
He's on work experience.
Right. He's not ill.
He's not ill. Ollie will be back next week. It'll be okay. Things will be fine. Okay. Sure. Goodbye, friends.
Thanks for listening, because that's the thing that people say.
Bye.